You're watching The Real with Mike. Good evening, everyone. The last video we talked about socialism, capitalism, and communism, how socialism leads to big government, and then it leads to tyranny and communism, and how capitalism has lifted more people out of poverty than any other system to this day. Now, last video I said we were going to talk about the Great Reset. Now, the Great Reset stemmed from the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum is an organization, a non-profitable organization, and I'm sure it's about as non-profitable as the Clinton Foundation is, considering the annual fee to be a part of this group is $600,000 plus. So they look at things like climate change, refugee crises, sustainable energy, sustainable population, things like that. And they take these results to different leaders of different countries, and they try to get those countries to buy into their agenda. Now, the big thing that people are talking about is a comment made by Klaus Schwab. His comment was, by 2030, you will own nothing and you'll be happy. Now, I want to talk about how I think that's possible that they could do that. Not that I'm for it. I'm completely against it, and that's why I'm doing these videos. But I'm going to tell you how this pandemic has developed a situation where they might be able to pull that off. During the first shutdown, there was lots of help for people. CERB, you got your check every month. The banks offered mortgage relief. You didn't have to pay the mortgage, just the interest. Dealerships, Ford, GM, offered the same deal on their car loans, which was great. It helped a lot of people off, and they just added whatever amount of months that you basically deferred, tagged on to the end of your mortgage or loan. So you extended your loan the amount of months that you didn't make the payments, which at the time, I'm sure, helped out a lot of people. But what if, and they are talking about a second shutdown now, what if on this second shutdown, the bank says the lenders want their money. We can't offer any relief. You have to pay your mortgage. And Ford and GM did the same thing. How well is that going to work out? Where is that going to leave people? Like Trudeau himself said, this pandemic has given us an opportunity, but when he says us, he doesn't mean me and you. He's saying him and his buddies, him and his cronies. It's given them an opportunity to push their agenda on sustainable energy, things of that nature. I think it's a transfer of wealth. More for them, less for us. And I think that they can do it without a whole lot of uprising. If you, during this second or third wave, there's been talk about having a third wave, but let's say second, because I think we're there. What if you can't pay your mortgage? What if the government can't offer any help besides your regular unemployment? They can't keep spending because they're afraid of hyperinflation, and let's face it, that won't be good for anybody. And car lenders, they can't help you out. They need their money. Lenders want their money. What are you going to do? A lot of people are going to be claiming bankruptcy because a lot of people live from check to check, paycheck to paycheck. And the way the economy's been and the cost of living, it's made it extremely hard for families to have any kind of savings for an event like this. There's a lot of people that will lose their homes. So a lot of people will have to lose their cars. Now, after you watched multiple friends and family lose their homes, lose their cars, and then the government comes up to you and they say, listen, if you sign over your house, sign over your car, we'll take care of your debt for you, but we own everything. Give us your deed, give us your ownership, pay us rent. You won't owe us anything. There'll be no outstanding debt. You won't have to move. You'll still get your car. You can pay us rent. And back to you will own nothing, but you'll be happy. Somebody owns something. Somebody's making things. It just ain't you. You're not going to own anything. They will. And that's why I think this needs to be something people are paying attention to, because once we snowball into a situation where you need the government, you're in a really bad spot. I think the economy should be opened up. People should be careful, but life needs to go on, because the alternative is much scarier. If they were to do this, would you sign over your deed? If they said to you, you won't have to move, just pay us rent. You don't have to move, you can keep your car, give us this much money a month, and you just live your life like normal for now. But that opens up a whole bunch of different doors. Now, let's say the police come over. Do they need a warrant now to come into your house? The government, can they say, yeah, you're going to have to move, we're going to build a road through here, this is wildlife, we're going to turn this to wildlife area? Where would you draw the line of where your rights are? You don't have any. You lost them when you handed that deed over. But how many people would do it just so they didn't have to move, so they had a place to live for their family? I'm betting there'd be a lot. You already have 17 million people that somewhat rely on the government as it is. I'm sure some of those 17 million have a house and it's paid for. I'm sure some don't. But where's it going to leave you, the working guy, the guy with the family that still has a mortgage? What would we do? I'm really interested in the comments of what you would do in this situation, and if you think it's plausible. I think it's highly plausible, and I think it's worth paying attention to, because once we're down that road, it will be extremely hard to pull back out of that. Please leave a comment, subscribe, and like, and share. Thank you.